Now to just elaborate on that and just to see, just kind of like probe into it, can love ever cause violence?
No, not love in itself. And in this regard, we have to look at whose definition of love. But love in itself, and here I'm talking about God's definition of love, can never actually cause violence, ever. And in fact, the problem that we have on the planet is that we do not accept God's definition of love, but rather we have a tendency to accept our own definitions of what we believe love to be. And if we believe love to be things that God knows it is not, then of course the things that we believe can certainly cause violence. But once we bring our love into complete harmony with the way God loves, there would never be any violence actually on the planet. But to do that, we need to make some pretty severe changes, and the changes have to occur inside of the hearts of people rather than just as a collective group.
Now, of course, from a realist perspective, one would say that you can never have 100% of the population with one perspective. So, if you do have one kind of outlier who does do a violent act, how should the ones with both individual and God's love, how should they react?
Well, we were just discussing this actually before you came. How should we react to people's free will is a question that needs to be asked. Well, firstly, if you look at what is happening on the planet at the moment, collectively we have a certain definition about love, what we believe love to be. For example, collectively there is a definition, particularly in the Western world, that it is loving to go to war under certain circumstances. Well, I would argue that it's never loving to go to war. But while the collective group of individuals believe that it is loving to go to war, then of course they're going to elect a person that is willing to go to war, and then of course both the people and the elected representative will go to war under certain circumstances. If it was not loving to ever go to war, and the elected representatives, the people in the electorate believed that it was not loving to go to war, then they would never elect a representative that would cause them to go to war. And so firstly we need to see the relationship between what's in the hearts of individual and then what is collectively done. So if collectively we all agree to something that's out of harmony with love, then there is always going to be some kind of negative response to what we collectively agree. But if we collectively agreed what love really was, and we collectively, for example, in the previous example I gave, we collectively